Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. In the last part, we helped investigate some riots and then found out that Ramuh is indeed returned. And he's now going to test us to see if he's going to either destroy everything or not. Yeah, great choices, huh? So, let's go ahead and choose the Striking Tree hard. Oh my gosh, finally. I kind of started getting into a little rant with Flynn about how the whole go attitude might be kind of making less people want to play at this point, so that's why things are starting to take longer to queue, even though there should still be a lot of people. And meanwhile, I finished a few word searches in that queuing. Oh my gosh. And now we have the DPS who fell asleep. Probably. Luckily, DPS are easy to find. So, Ramuh is going to be in a singular spot, middle of the arena. There is positionals, of course. His primary attack is an area attack on the tank or whoever is hitting. So only the tank should be getting hit by this. The tank should not be going up to other party members. Also, I don't like this music. I'm not the biggest fan of this music, I'm sorry. But yeah, so whoever the primary tank should not be going up to other players. Off tank should not be going up to the primary tank to save the healer's issues. And obviously, when you hit the ad phase, the primary tank should not be going to the ads, otherwise you will just be murdering the DPS. And that about sums up this part. At least for what the very, very, very basics are without actually getting into the fight. Seriously, it was like a 19-minute queue. Finally took tank, much like Leviathan took tank, but still. So, of course, they rush right on in. Thou art brave, warrior of light. So, you see those little lightning shocks that just happened there? That is going to be very important here. Oh, yep, and there's a DPS up there getting smacked by that tank attack. So yeah, that is going to be very important. So Ramuh is going to put a targeting icon on 1 to 2 players, and it's going to terror them. Another player then needs to run up to said person who is now terrorized and get them hit by this attack, so that that ninja is just getting destroyed up there. Yeah, so players need to run up to them so that... No, I'm getting targeted. Run back here. You want to stay next to Ramuh so people can more easily find you. Yeah, so you need to do that so that they can get unterred and resume the battle. So this is the ads phase. You have to kill 3 of these, and the tank is trying to run up to the ads, even though they really should not be. So you have to kill all 3 of these. Obviously, if the tank runs up, it's really bad because the DPS, especially because we have 4 melee, are just going to get wrecked. We've not actually hit his invincibility phase. So that's something. So this battle shall decide thy fate. So this is phase 2, now that we're past the ads phase. So in phase 2, the main thing that's really added is this rolling thunder effect. So what this means is that there's going to be 2 players tethered together, like so. They need to go and get 3 orbs that are scattered about the field. And... oh, come on, I thought the healer was going to get them. Yeah, they have to get 3 orbs scattered about the field too. Ow! Oh, like so. 1, There's not enough orbs up. Because someone's grabbing them too. No! I needed that one! I have 2, dude. And they only the effect only lasts so long, so now we're stuck until there's another big lightning strike. And this hurts really badly. Yeah. People are taking them or something, and yeah. So that happened. But that's Ramuh. And that's why the orbs need to just be left alone unless you are tethered. If you are tethered, take them. If you're not tethered, leave them the heck alone. At least in this version. Because then you just screw someone out and they end up dying. And, well, yeah.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Alright, so time to return back to Little Solus. Hi, enemy literally right behind me. So let's just make a quick little flight over there because yay, flying! Otherwise I would have just teleported and walked back, because that would have been just way faster. Alright, you've returned. Dare I ask how Ramuh received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well, then, that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Souls will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the Forest Champion of Peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Arya. The elder seeds here must be informed of your deeds at once. What little gods are made of. The elder seeds here will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the lowest stand. The conjurer and Alpha Exalter will be expecting you. Fare you well, Arya. Yay! I return! And this probably is not voiced. If I were to take a guess.
You are returned to us,
I'm
dear
wrong.
friend. and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the Elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow Scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Oh, I have to talk with Papalymo. Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Arya? I hope Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which he responded to the Primal Southern challenge. And it seems that Urianger, too, was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Arya? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Okay. Welcome back, Arya. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the waking sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called Immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
The Lord of Levin has returned to the ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Craig, Worrell, and Levin. All have now been humbled by the bringer of light. The limitless potential of man, Hydaelyn's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in the Orzia's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Guardian of Eorzea. Didn't get an achievement, so we ain't done yet. That definitely felt very, yeah. Now that the matter of Ramuh has for the present been put to rest, there is something I would show you, Arya. is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated Primals: Ifrit, Titan, Gruda, Good King, Moggo, Mog the 12th, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Arya, and Eorzea is that much safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own. And that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the Primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow. There is no greater gift. Oh, excuse me. Why am I still yawning? That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in doing so. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the Sils of Little Souls, who wish not of conflict. Of Alize, who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Aleg, that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. And of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming and to see, then, given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Okay, I need water. No. I take it the troubles in North no longer require your attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from you recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Arya, you have been away from Revenant's Hold for some time now, I believe. I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town. Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozin was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Fine, I can do that. I can do that. Of course, he is still down in the Rising Stones, so let us make our way out. Look, it's Miss Arya. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting Primals, and then there are some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. Wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, and do you think you could train us today, Miss Arya? Maybe you could show us how you fought the Primals? What's all this commotion, then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Colton Hat. Did you know Miss Arya's back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Arya. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I'm known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken upon ourselves to instruct the dumb and younglings in the arts of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we're not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Arya if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Arya? A demonstration of skill arms, if you will. Hori, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against the legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Arya? Would you consent to spar with me? Sure. Hurrah! We're gonna have a tournament! Come on, everyone! We must prepare our gear for an outing! Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Alright, I guess we're heading east. Aha! Solo instant! Still a bit foggy right now. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Arya. I trust you're ready to begin. We're being synced down to 50. So let's say 55. We are 55. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Hori, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Arya you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Arya to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Arya's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Oh, hold on. I gotta get prepped. Then I have honed my skills. Now tons of time to test them. Now, now target. Breaking these open. Ugh, such power. The tails barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? Not over yet. It can't be. The children have the right of it. 'Tis time to join the fray. On your feet, Hori. Yeah, well, there's that little part where I'm, kind of, sort of, a little bit over-geared, but details. I must admit, defeat was an honor and a privilege. Oh no, he looks hurt. I'm sorry, you're so strong, but you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Wait, is he really putting on both Sword Oath and Shield Oath? And Sword Oath doesn't even exist in the game. And now he's invincible! Is your example I follow? Surrender not to the implacable foe. Foe, not fool. Jerk using, like, cheats. Literally trying to put on... So Sword Oath used to be a DPS sort of stance for Paladins. And they got rid of it in favor of just having the Shield Oath, which is now Iron Will, which I think it actually said Iron Will there, and yeah. You have passed to me. I yield. That was incredible! She beat them both at the same time! I know you can't lose, Arya. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the Primals. I have much work to do if I am ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Arya. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? It was at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why your grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abound, and yet the effort I saw expended toward their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzea a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius in the order he proposed to enforce. The Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such swift switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nation's too self-involved and unstable. 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that my grandsire sought to preserve was that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better tomorrow. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the Primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stone. There's an S there. What's the Z? No, there's an S there. Thank you for coming, Arya. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that will pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Yeah. Recruiting the realm. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but first speak to the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you would. The military might of such an institution would be drawn in from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus toward unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that this successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. And being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions will work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But, as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. Tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and tend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lumensa. Let's rendezvous at the Bulwark Hall. I forgot about this. Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Bloswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruiting process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many whom may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential matters, 'tis of no matter that should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range with the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you're satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship to counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Alright, so we need to make our way to the upper decks, which I don't think this is going to take me there. But this will, and I should really get in fist of wind if I'm going to be doing this nonsense running around. Hey, I remember you. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens will know that there is a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Master Albano's new organization, yes, I have heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Lord of Levin must needs receive my full attention. Oh, hello again. And who in the bloody hell do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some southern knight in shining plate. Looking for a self-righteous fop. Try knocking on that dandy Carvalane's door. A precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Captain. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Neldik and Vimelius keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be hazing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Well, if it ain't Arya, I'd not forget adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Real Dolia, formerly of the Company of Heroes, Three Whistles, Bronze Lake? Aye, they often drag me arse out to Limstead for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How far are you these days? Looking to put together a new crew, top tier work? Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alright, lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into my grave just yet. Alright, back to the airship landing. Where are you off and Arya, you're recruiting well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Momensa. A member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing, I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance as such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the other Seatseo proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nafika's altar. So, back to Gridania and the Conjurer's Guild. Mine with the other seats here is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Well, at least we only need 4 this time. Alright, looks like the best course of action is just the amphitheater and head up. No, you can't jump in! You have to go through the gate. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could be you don't remember me. It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron of the Buscaroons. Who? Laurentius! I was selling maps and supplies to the Garleans before you and those red-belly poachers mopped the forest floor with my erstwhile employers. Here now, just how many criminals have you dealt with that my ignominious tale ignites not the slightest flicker of recognition? The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And one of you, adventurer, business brings you to this part of Gridania. Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the Woodwheelers will have naught to do with me. This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Revenants told you, say, I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this. I promise you, I am a changed man. Grandfather, we must call a day. Let's return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back give up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry we were just... Oh, Arya, isn't it? It's been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mew tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf, and now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Because it's undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I spent my entire adventuring career working toward. She'll join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildur safely home. Well, this is going a tad bit better than it did in Limsa. For now. What? Oh, hey, it's you with Hawk Manor. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I'm both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Sorry, I'm too much of a quest NPC to be able to move. Thanks. I think that's what that kind of amounted to. Might just be what all of this amounts to in general. It's like, I'm too much of a quest NPC to be able to help you. Sorry. Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise. But still, these appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. Beat it, Ray. See if I invite you over for some cookies. The bakery near me is currently closed. What news, Arya? For my part, the elder seer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? And let's meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Oh my god, finally. Oh, off to Ul'dah. Nope, almost went too far. Ul'dah, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some men are fortunate with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. I suggest descending to a lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts. I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let's meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Arya. So we can actually just go jump and on over to, looks like the Gladiators Guild? Right over here? Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. And he wrote, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself more a more worldly man, so here I am. I know company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm. Sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I prepare myself to fight, and the evil I know is out there. Oh boy. Looks like down there. That is probably the Miners Guild. They're miners or weavers. Either one will work. Oh, what a happy coincidence. You remember me. Perchance I am Morrison of the Church of St. Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? That crib, wasn't it? Ah, it's his new companions you seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good. But my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. And into the Weavers Guild. Who could we possibly get here? Ain't the Guildmaster. Out to the moon. I'm sorry you wish to recruit me as some new-fashioned manner propositioning a lady. I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady's already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Sorry, I'm too much of a quest NPC to be able to be taken. That's what happened again. Yeah, it's gonna go into Sapphire Avenue Exchange slightly faster. You are definitely not coming with me. Company looks to cure the ills of the entire realm. Oh, listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next all over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Yeah. Again, I'm too much of a quest NPC to help you. Bye. I think you are too, aren't you? Have you come all the way to tell me the news, soldier? Well, I've already heard it. Seems the would-be savior of Ul'dah's refugees went and got himself killed, and not by your hand. He was just as much a pawn as the helpless cast-offs he sought to deceive, eh? That's not why you're here. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know this glorious new company of yours and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Posters on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. You think you're recruiting for a just cause, and you're a bigger fool than I took you for. I'm too high and mighty, and I'm too much of a quest NPC too. Seriously, that's what like 80% of this is coming down to. How fared you, Arya? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even though our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people is born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Arya. Will not squander the precious gift you have placed in my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. Yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced the trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, the finances secured. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn the people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, wishes to make no more of it. Let's return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for United Eorzea.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
No, for all that we took off in an airship, we sure are still in the same exact spot. Or she was just watching a random airship go. That's also possible, I guess. That is not a journey I assume we should repeat. Yeah, same. But I cannot pause or rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Arya. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Yeah, me too. Heretical harassment. Greetings, Arya. Atheno tells me all is in place to begin his trial campaign. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stars. Tataria is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late. Now their sophomore might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? Oh my gosh. Hello. What can I do for you, Arya? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out this new arm of the Scions. Huh, I barely noticed your recruits arrived. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer of aid. It is more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company won't answer directly to the antecedents, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Softborn, the shipment! We couldn't... Gods, woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment of Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordana, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. And they were too many. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning supplies. Pray forgive us. There's not to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest and have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? Heretics are evolved, and this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will mean to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Fortemps. We collected provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Oh, Arya, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortemps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your assistance. I am certain Lord Horshathon will be glad of your assistance. Alright, sounds like we need to head for Camp Dragonhead. Well, if it isn't my fine friend Arya Ariana, would you care for a plate of roast caracol, some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. When the cold sets in. Okay.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortemps does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Hallone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Let's just say I was starting to get a little worried that I might have I walked into 2.4 store unknowingly, but no, we're still in 2.3. You all know my thoughts on stairs. Well, good news. I can fly! So we don't have to deal with them. Arya, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I'm a man of action and need no honeyed words. Oh, no the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say. But a theory, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed thrown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But it is not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this ice heart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor, unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of the recent victims. As fates would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor was waylaid on the road. Patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Soon he has regained the use of his faculties. The merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your work. Alright. Yep. Thoughts on stairs still exist. I'd rather do it that way. I just have to remember how to get to the infirmary. Upstairs. That. No. Up. Okay. There you are. Tell me what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was robbing my usual route to Whiteburn Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals. They're taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to me to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods. They did not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Snowcloak, huh? Let's make our way down there. Good thing we can fly. Doesn't help too much, actually, but helps a little bit. Because there's a stupid mountain in the way. Stupid mountain. I mean, it does help a little bit. Barely. Aha! We appear to have a battle to do. So let's swap over. Pull out Dragana. And make ourselves useful. Oh, this is a mage, but they didn't even start attacking me until the other one was near dead. Alright, speak with the Hostirander Knight. I can do that. Been a while since we've been down here, actually. Oh, hello. You are a huntlog thing. Let's beat you up. Well, I'm down here. Kill 3. I can do that. There we go. Draw your weapon foul. Oh, wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are coming. Seeking heretics. That's what they said. Word for word. We share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like icy rice. You glimpse a woman atop the cliff? Could it be Iceheart herself come this near our folly? Until where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered passages through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best that were we to return to the White Rim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Drillmont. Back we go. Dup. All part of the plan. Tower's right there. Hello. Arya, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder and prepare into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Horshaphant of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Alright. I'm just gonna warp back there.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Back to Revenant's Toll. I forgot how long this this part after Ramuh was. Oh my gosh. Arya, 'tis good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Coerthas? As for Tom, to send us a second shipment, I must send thanks to Lord Horshaphant for his continued generosity. Yet even as our own town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greater power. All of us, often those new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. brave new companions. While you were away in Querthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. Taking enough of your time, why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? Sure, I can do that. I feel like I may end up having to split this because we're kind of like two different completely plot lines here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get to editing. So I never know what I'm gonna do. Come editing. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, well, why are they even here? Oh, I am sorely tempted to file a lot in my waste paper basket. Alright, you startled me. You wish to lend me a hand? Splendid. Would you be dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant Soul, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Sounds. You won't report directly back to Alpha, though, if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. Wonder if the Sounds will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Alright, let's go present the uniforms, I guess. Back outside. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools, that one giving of oneself is 'tis an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be a wealth of plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Alright. Let's go find Laurentius. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I must admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Oh, our new uniforms are reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Right up here. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life, though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit. I am excited to forge my own path forward. Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you, truth be told. The thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Hello, little lass. Looking for me was, yeah, I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh-ho! Proper uniforms and all. This thing'll cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's told that this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Ariana, gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tale of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. It's an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. This scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm and thought this new company would find an opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack the color. Well, and finally, to believe we've met, I am Elbert, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much that I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no ease or method of creating common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Alright, back to Alphinaud. Yes, Ariel? Oh, sorry, I mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms and put forth through the established gun companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small core, the core of elite warrior that can achieve. Did I mention that I thought of a name for the company? It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment the truth draws near Arya, once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their Primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphinaud. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Whew.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Hydaelyn's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Cool, on that note, let's grab that. And probably be thrust right into another cutscene. Yep. Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Yay! We made it! We got there! We got through 2.3. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna have to split this in two. There's no way. Yeah, on that note, I think I'm good for now. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, video or videos, whatever it is. Consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoy it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps her keep being content like this and more. Find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!